played us today. They executed better. I got to do a better job getting our team to start faster. We dug ourselves a big hole getting down 14-0 in those first few series of the game. They did a good job running the ball early against our three-man front. I think we did a good job adjusting and getting to the four-man front, which helped us stop the running game. We need to run the ball better. I was disappointed how we ran the ball against them. They did a nice job against us, and I thought we're the more physical team up front. But there's a lot of things that we just lost in our recipe of how we win. We got outrushed by a team that really doesn't even love to rush the ball. We're losing the turnover margin. We got to do a better job of getting some more takeaways on defense. We got to protect the ball better. We got to protect the quarterback better up front. We had some very costly penalties that I thought were a factor in the game that we need to be more disciplined with. We get a pass interference that turns into offsetting. We get a touchdown called back at the end of the half when we have a chance to tie it. Even on the last series, we have 20 yards in penalties right before the last series, and we have a long drive to get a field goal. Those 20 yards could have been enough to maybe get a touchdown, and maybe put a little bit more pressure on those guys. But credit to them. I think they have a great offense. I think that quarterback's a great player. I thought their OC really called a good game. Coach Ken had them ready to go, and proud of the team that we kept battling to the end and competed, but we got to get a lot better. I think it's feedback that San Jose State has been a perennial bowl team the last few years, and we got some work to do to get on their level because they were much better than us today.
What did you feel that they did to create issues in the run game for you guys?
Well, I think here's my thought without watching the tape is that. We're more of a four-man team. They knew that we might play some three-man front because we did against Idaho State, and I just think they executed better. It's tough to you have light boxes and all those things. I mean, you're 5 for 5, and I think they did a better job of executing against us, and that's probably not surprising because it's kind of them being more their base element and us trying to adjust. And I think it was good that we got it corrected. Going to the four-man front, but I think that's stuff we have to. Just look at in the future. And I was tempted to play the three-man front because, you're not going to get a lot of pressure. That's the way their offense works. So it's tempting to say, hey, let's, why rush another guy who's not going to get there? Let's put another guy in coverage to try to stop their good receivers. But I think it didn't really hurt us in the passing game. It hurt us in the running game with them bleeding us early and, running the ball well. So credit to them for taking what was there.
You talked a little bit earlier this week that a lot of the things that they do well schematically, just how they're set up to kind of neutralize a lot of the things that you do. Just kind of touched on the pressure and all that too. What was kind of the defensive game plan for San Jose?
Well, we wanted to try to mix things up on the quarterback and not let him know what coverages we're in. We played like a snap of cover one early in the game, and they did a good job of finding the good mismatch. They got 10 on our star, which was an advantage for them, and had a good play. We were trying to mix up some two high and one high looks and soft corners and hard corners, try to give them some different fronts to block, try to have some movements. But I think they're planning on being better than our plan, and they executed it better.
Kind of a brutal night injury-wise. I think Dimitri left, David left, Buckley left, Abe I think was out too. Yeah. Can you speak to any of the health of those guys quite yet, or do you have any updates?
All those guys didn't finish the game. Abe, Buckley, Dimitri, but I don't know. I probably won't know until tomorrow afternoon exactly. How bad they are.
Did you? I mean, and I know you mentioned execution, all that. Again, kind of going back to the idea that they do things to neutralize a lot of what you guys are good at defensively. Do you feel this was kind of like a bad matchup, scheme on scheme, or how did you treat that?
Yeah, I mean, I do think. It's something we got to keep getting better at. Again, I didn't. You looked at probably the games that we played defense in the year. Relative to the talent and stuff they had. I thought Idaho State was probably our weakest performance, and again, I think this is a very similar offense, but with better players. So, it's something I think we got to do a better job of just making sure we have good answers when we play offenses like this. And that quarterback's very good. Credit to him. I think he might be the best quarterback we played all year.
Kind of like a long, thankless night for Jack in a lot of respects. There were times where obviously he had 3 picks, and sometimes he kind of struggled to get rid of the ball, but he also made some big throws. What kind of is your read on his performance tonight?
Yeah, I thought he competed his tail off. I think I don't know if any of the picks were 100% on him. We had a trick play where I thought they made a really good play by their safety. they were in man coverage, and the guy who was man on Zayala went on the reverse, just kind of zoned off and was reading the quarterback's eyes, and then he, just becomes a free player and comes over and makes a nice play. The second one, he gets hit right as he throws on a deep ball, a deep 50-50 ball, and the kid makes a nice play, and we should have been better in protection, not giving up a hit. We had enough guys to protect it. And then, the third one, I think the kid makes a nice break on the ball. I think our receiver's got to, we got to fell out of it. He's got to come back to the ball a little, heavier for that, at least hopefully get it to be an incompletion. So I thought Jack competed and battled. I'll watch the tape and see more after I see it.
What was I know you guys were playing from behind and all that. Was it just a feeling at a certain point that you guys were, hey, like the pass game's working a little bit more than the run game, or what was kind of the decisions there?
Well, I don't think we ran it well early, and then when we got down to 17, then it really became where we were kind of in 2-minute mode. After that, just because you're going to run out of time. So we at that point really it was a new game plan of playing fast and trying to mix in a few runs, but we got to throw a lot at that point.
I think in a bigger picture context, like a lot of people probably looked at this game before the season and said this is probably going to be the same result in a lot of respects and all that too. Is that something that do you feel like things are still on schedule in a lot of respects, or
I'm not losing faith in the team or anything. We just got some feedback today. We're not good enough. We gotta get back to work, and if we're facing the team who was picked to be third in the conference on the road was enough. Now we get to go play the team picked to be first in the conference. So we better attack this week and get better and improve the things that I think we can control better. Our discipline, our execution, our physicality, and have that be at a higher level.
You touched on them earlier a little bit too. The penalties, a couple that were really costly, a couple of costly holdings and all that. What was your kind of your read on the penalties across the board?
Well, I think we got to control what we can control, and again, usually we control our technique. I think if you're sloppy with your technique, you're at risk for getting called for holding penalties. And we got to be a little bit more disciplined. I thought we had some foolish ones that were after the play that just get you beat. And I'm very disappointed with those. I had to do a better job coaching them.
Coach, what's the most positive thing you take out of this as we get ready for Boise State next week?
Well, I think our team continues to fight, and you get down 17 point, you get down 14-0 early, or you get down 17, in the second half, and you get, some teams can quit and it can get a lot worse. So I thought I told the team I'm proud of them because I thought we kept fighting to the end, and we got it back. We never quite got it to a one-possession game, but we got it where we could have got a stop and had the ball back, we had a chance.
Anything else?
Anybody on Zoom have any questions, Van?
Yes, sir. I just want to ask you, Coach. You didn't get the outcome you wanted, but your guys, they never stop fighting, and that has to make you feel good. I know you'd rather have a win, but you got a team that's not going to throw in the towel because we've seen that before.
No, I'm proud of the guys. I love this team. I'm proud of them. We just, we got to get to work. We're not quite good enough yet, so we gotta get better and improve, and that's what our job as coaches, to put these guys in better positions, and they will look closely at the tape and make sure what we have to do. And if we do have injuries where guys are out, we got to have other guys step up and put guys in the best position. But no, I'm proud of this team. I believe in this team. Again, I thought that we fought. I don't think it was a lack of effort or quitting by any means, but we just got to get better.
And when the fourth quarter came, you guys, that's your jam, man, the fourth quarter. You guys get after it in the fourth quarter as far as scoring a bunch of points more than your opponent. Did you feel like we got the momentum, we can do this?
Well, I thought at halftime, I thought we were in good shape because I thought we kind of took their best shot, and we're down 14 early, and then we cut it to 3. And so I felt really good at halftime. But then, we come out and have a poor series. I think we had a penalty on the kickoff return that gave us crappy field position, and then we should have had an automatic first down, but we have a late, unnecessary roughness on the O-line that, I thought it was kind of like a self-destruction, series. A lot of things that we can control that we made mistakes on that series more than they stopped in us. And then, they answered with a big drive to go up 10. So I think those first 2 drives in the second half kind of took away, our momentum that we had going into halftime. Anybody else, Andres or Daily Lobo? Daily Lobo, what do you got?
Hi, Coach Eck. Tough loss, no doubt. Can you speak to what you'll be doing this week to bounce back for Boise State next week?
I think we got to focus on a lot of our base fundamentals. Whether it's our technique with our O-linemen keeping their hands inside, continuing to look at maybe, is there some new drills we need to be doing for, punching the ball out and, forcing turnovers, because that's something we have to do a better job of. Just some base counts and targeting and things. So just a lot of base fundamentals and just improving our execution and trying to clean some things up. And we got a couple days to get fresh now because we're off the next 2 days. So we'll come back Monday and get rolling with these guys.
One more question. Can you speak to like the difference in the mental state between like driving a game like this and like the Rising win last week?
Yeah, it's a lot more fun when you win. After a big win, there's a lot of thrills, and I think, but either way, you got to get ready to play next week. So even though we got a disappointed locker room, we can feel bad for this ride home and tomorrow, and then we got to get back to work and getting better. And we got a lot of football ahead of us. We're sitting here in 3-2. We're not in a bad position. Probably the only thing that maybe knocked us out of is like the CFP contention, but that was never like really a goal of our team this year to qualify for the CFP. So we gotta get to work and get ready for a really good Boise team next week.
Thank you so much. Good luck.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Let's switch it up. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.